Word.
Very good.
Here we are, everybody. Top 5. This is a serious, exciting discussion that we're going to have today. Top 5 rappers of all time. The movie, of course, Top 5. Hi, Chris, you want to join us today?
I'm going to join.
He was cramming. He was cramming.
I know you're like a big movie star.
Right there. He's Googling.
Okay. Jason, you start.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with Jay-Z. By any metric, I think he's probably superior to anybody. I'll go with Rakim. I think Rakim is the rap.
Why is that funny to you?
This whole thing is
That's
just
so great.
Very important.
Number 2, Rakim. Rap Jesus Christ. I think there's hip-hop before the God MC and hip-hop after him in terms of MCs and delivery and flow. I think he's number 2. Number 3, I'll say Biggie. I think Biggie, the most tooled MC ever. Although he had a short career, I think he applied those tools, storytelling, battle flow, spitting in clubs. Bo Jackson a rap. I'm gonna take that. When we edit that out, when we edit this, I said that.
very short. He's not Walter Payton, he's not Tony Dorsett, but he's very exciting.
And so I'm not super East Coast. I'll say number 4, Ice Cube. I think we give a lot of credit for Dr. Dre for being the architect of an entire sound. I think Ice Cube was the voice of that entire coast, and he still is prevalent and kind of the influence from then. And then number 5, I'll say Nas. I think Nas is the most poetic MC. I think he's probably the most gifted MC that's ever lived.
Wow. Interesting. You pick Cube over Pac when you go West Coast guy.
Time. Well, there's still 6 man.
To be debated.
Yeah.
To be debated. Okay. I'm going to go to Chris.
Really?
Yeah,
Me
right
already?
now. Come on, Chris.
Oh, boy, I'm going to go with Jay-Z is the best rapper to ever live. Jay-Z, he's the Pete Rose of rap. He's got the most hits.
That's better than Bo Jackson.
Yeah, he has the most hits. He's the hit king.
Yeah. But if we go by hits.
But you don't diss hits.
Right.
I don't diss hits. I'm into hits.
No, that's your personal
Every now and then there's a horrible hit. Yes, every now and then. But every now and then. But most hits are good.
Yeah.
And nobody with a horrible hit usually gets another hit.
Right.
You know? Right?
Yeah.
So I will go with Jay-Z is the best rapper ever lived. Number 2, I'm going to go with Kanye West. Kanye West is the most exciting artist in the history of hip-hop. He's the most interesting artist we have ever had.
Yeah.
He is perhaps, maybe Rakim the exception, the only artist we've ever had with mystique. That we actually give a fuck what he does besides rap. And Kanye's made the best album in the history of rap.
He's going to be very happy to hear this.
And you know, My Beautiful Dark Fantasy is the best.
Which came out today.
It's
4 years ago.
My Beautiful Dark Fantasy is better than Thriller. Okay?
Oh, because you're
Wow.
on it. Because he's on it. Because he's on it. I would do it too.
Wow.
I would pick him when I'm on.
The building just shook.
There's no Baby Be Mine on Beautiful Dark Fantasy.
Baby Mine's a great song.
Nah, it's horrible.
Love that song.
Girl Is Mine is whack too. It's whack.
I don't know.
West.
All right,
Kanye West is amazing. Number 3, I go with Scarface. Scarface, most influential. There is no Jay-Z without Scarface. Jay-Z and Biggie are 2 Brooklyn cats that were just listening to the Scarface album and put a little more shine on it. Okay? Okay? Scarface.
He's looking around like, who's arguing?
Yeah.
Who's arguing?
Who's got their veto?
Yes. So it's like, I'm paranoid, I'm confused. All of that's created by Scarface.
Right.
I'm going to kill myself at the end of my first album. Biggie stole that from Scarface, okay? Okay. Scarface, so I'm at
Jay-Z, Kanye, Scarface.
Yes, I'm going to go with Ice Cube. No.
Okay.
Ice Cube is, you know, because Ice Cube is not just Ice Cube. Ice Cube wrote the Eazy-E album too.
Yes, he did.
So he's Ice Cube. He's like Prince writing Morris Day songs.
Can't argue that.
Okay, like he wrote a whole.
Ice Cube write the rhymes that I say. Hail from the CIA.
Yeah, so he not just wrote rhymes. He wrote a whole nother persona.
Yes, he did.
For somebody.
Right.
And wrote Fridays. Okay, his pen game is unparalleled. Okay.
And 5.
What am I? And 5, I'm gonna go with LL Cool J.
Wow.
And I'm just going. And by the way, I'm just going. You know, hey, LL's got a great job on TV, and his family's taken care of, and his kids are gonna go to the best schools in the world. But we all kind of wish he would have stopped.
That's what makes your scoring average go down when you play.
Yeah. But I think you should judge rappers like fighters. Nobody judges fighters when they're old.
Right.
Nobody's looking at Muhammad Ali and going, he lost to Trevor Burbick. Nobody says that. Nobody says that. You judge them from his prime. And in their prime, LL Cool J was better, more entertaining, more, the guy that you can listen to. You can pump out your chest and bump him in the car, and your mom could get in the car and it was okay.
And he made love songs.
And my mom loves. Give it to me fast. Give it to me fast again. Your list. So tell me again because I got
It's Jay-Z, Kanye, Scarface, Ice Cube, LL
Cool J. Give me a 5, quick.
I go from 5 to 1. I gotta agree with Chris on LL. LL. For 30 years, he had hits. He had the, every year to me, you have an MVP in hip hop, and L has had that MVP at least 10 times in his, for 30 years out of his career. He should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame right now. It's a travesty, so I'm gonna go LL from number 5. And he's from Queens. Absolutely.
Queens run y'all. Ask Russell Simmons. Brooklyn.
I mean, and he helped architect the biggest hip hop label ever, Def Jam Records. I'm gonna keep it in Queens for number 4. I gotta go with Nas. Poetic battles. He has the crowns in that situation. Illmatic, to me, I think is the second best hip hop album of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
Next to what?
Life After Death, Biggie.
So we
Biggie, my
We
favorite.
know where he's at.
No.
Okay.
Number 3, Tupac. To me, I think Pac is the most influential. I think maybe it's a toss-up between him and Jay-Z being the most influential MCs of all time. Tupac, the most prolific, obviously. Number 2, I gotta go with Biggie. I think Biggie is the most talented MC I've ever heard. Like Jason said, he just has no flaws in his game, from the look, the wordplay, the lyrics, hits, street credibility, pop icon. He's my favorite MC ever, so I gotta go with Biggie number 2. But I think what held him back from being number 1 is that his career was a little too short. So that's why I have to go with, So that's why I have to go with Jay for being number 1 in my list. Besides being a billionaire, pop icon, influence, I think he just shows us how to do hip hop. On all levels, from a musical level to a business level, how to conduct yourself. Jay is one of those other guys that doesn't have any flaws.
Cool. Info.
I'm going to go from 1 to 5. Shaheem was talking about Jay-Z being a game changer. I think that, yes, that's true.
That's Jay.
But
That was Michael.
exactly.
Michael Jackson.
I think that Jay-Z is definitely the game changer, but Nas, to me, is the life changer. I think that if Rakim was the architect and then Nas is sort of his descendant, Rakim was writing in hieroglyphics and Nas deciphered it for me as a hip-hop fan. So personally, I'm going with Nas.
Very poetic.
Yeah, number 1. Number 2, Biggie, all day. The one that got away, that's the one that you think about forever and ever. So just personally, as the most charismatic rapper, I choose Biggie for number 2. Number 3, I'm going to go with Andre 3000 because he is the only remaining special, pure event. Andre 3000 gets on anything. You know that he's going to kill it. And I think that he also brings a certain weirdness to hip-hop, and he made weirdness cool, so I love him for that. Number 4. I have to say KRS-One, because as a young hip-hop fan, KRS-One made me a black militant. He taught me about... Yes. Listening to him.
Still is.
I mean, this is how influential he is. He taught me about sex, Jimmy hats. He taught me about drugs and whether girls are, they look too good, but they're not ready or whatever. All of these things,
the crack costs money.
KRS-One taught me, so that's, for a young Korean girl in Chicago, that's big.
That's a lot.
I'm sure that's what he was
He makes the list.
That's what he was going for.
And then number 5, if I was a betting person and I cared about stats and stacking the deck, of course I would choose Jay-Z because it's just pure money in the bank. But I like flaws, and I like, you know, I want to be moved emotionally, and so I'm going with Kanye because with all of his flaws and his egomania and his, you know, depression and all of these things, he just is the most emotionally powerful rapper. So that's who I'm going with.
Wow.
I know.
Very
I gotta
good.
shake it up.
Shaking the table.
Go ahead.
I'm
Let's
ready.
do it.
I'm ready. All right. Number one. This is tough. Number one, I'm gonna go with.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Damn, man. Big Daddy Kane.
Okay.
Hold on, Big Daddy
You really
Kane.
from Brooklyn?
Yeah.
You live on Fulton Street.
Yeah.
You get fish sandwiches on Myrtle Avenue.
I had to go with Big Daddy Kane, man. I think you don't have Jay, you don't have Big, who influenced everyone. So I feel as though he brought style. He could dance. Everyone forgets about that element. Everyone was dancing before. Entertainer, and he can still do it now.
He's
you know,
pretty good still now.
he's like the James Brown of that
splits.
type of thing.
Good,
So
yes.
just lyrical. He was definitely on 5% type joints. I mean, he did Lean on Me. Like he did some crazy joints. So I would go with him. Next is Nas. Nas, everyone already talked about his greatness, but I feel like people forget he's like a scientist with lyrics. He's incredible. Jay-Z, Jay, another Brooklyn dude, but just for the fact that I think if you look at what Big and him had, what they had together, he was chasing the lyrics that dude had already come out with, and the fact that Nas was out already, he was already rapping about like, I'm trying to top these dudes, and then he did it. And then fourth is Big, just because he's Biggie.
It's a lot of Brooklyn, man.
It's a lot of Brooklyn.
And I love Brooklyn.
I'm
I
from
love
Coney,
Brooklyn.
so it's like, of course.
I love Brooklyn,
Got any
man.
rappers from Coney Island?
And then
Joel.
Ice Cube.
Oh, Ice Cube.
Ice Cube. Colorblind, everything is dope. Like even the joints that's not hits are hits. You know, so he's the man.
Let me go to the
You
group
know
girl
what I mean?
over here.
And that's what I'm saying. and that's
Rosario,
why
love a group.
I know you're gonna
Wait.
like totally veto everybody on my
Nobody's
list.
gonna be.
But that's why. But no, it's cool. I'm not
No
I'm not even
judgment
saying that.
This round.
It's all judgment zone. That's why everybody has to make so much clarification with every single person that they choose. But for me, it's like, you know, I'm a '79 baby, and so for me, it was like, you know.
That was a jab, like right. Like,
That was like,
No. But like Rapper's Delight, like there's like, for me, it always goes to those particular songs. It doesn't matter how much I love certain artists, but you don't have that song. It doesn't matter if you only had that one hit. To me, and when you're talking about hits, it doesn't matter if it's just that one hit, but the sweet spot that it hits in me always is always you're gonna have to, I would feel wrong not to count you, because you're the reason why I love any of the other artists at all. So for me, it's like that. When I think of that song, I think about how that just completely transformed music in general and the whole like level of it. Otherwise, I would have just grown up listening to Bread and David Bowie, and you know Marvin Gaye and Bill Withers and Prince and Michael Jackson and all these. Love me some Bill Withers. Like Bill Withers is like straight out top five. Like, that's a whole other top five conversation. But like that's the like realm of music and Ella Fitzgerald. Everything was so much. Louis Prima. Like I love music. So when I get, I know. So when I get into this, it's like for me. But it always goes back to the song because I just love music, and I don't always have the luxury of listening to full albums. So for me, it's like I'm always gonna have that. So for me, I'm always gonna put in, and it's hard for me to do it in order. So I'm saying it out of order. Well, you know, if I'm saying it out of order, because all of them equal the same to me, but it's like, you know, when I look at, for me, like Mos and Talib, like, I loved who they were as people. I loved how they pushed themselves. I love that it could be really sexy and it could be really conscious at the same time. I like that, you know, there was acting and all types of stuff.
And Talib
As
rappers,
as
or you
together
Black
and a
Star?
group. Black Star. But to separate, I want to say their names, but like, it's like I grew up like I have to talk about the Roots. Like that to me, it was like a super conscious. But how do you talk about them without talking about Public Enemy? Like it's impossible for me. Like
this is why
all of
we're
it.
here.
I know, but that's why I get to be me. I'm the one who's like even do my top five. Okay, no. So if I have to do it, I'd say Public Enemy in there over that. I'd have to say the Roots in there. I'd have to say Salt and Pepper because, you know, I was a little girl and I was listening to those lyrics as a 14-year-old and that was wildly inappropriate and it was totally okay. Like there was some, yes, I did, and it was like a thing, and it's like, you know, there were women and they were talking about sex and they were talking about AIDS and they were talking about all types of stuff. Like it was just, that was such an amazing moment for me. Like they had hits,
hits.
and it didn't matter. Like it's weird to me they didn't cover, but they did. Yeah, they had hips and they had hits, and and they were sexy and they were fun and they were also like super hood about it, and it was like awesome to just wear sweatsuits as women and still be sexy and still be like calling the shots. You know what I mean? Like so it's like sweet spot for me.
You got
so
one
I don't know.
more.
I can't.
Yeah,
I got one more.
You might as well keep a group.
I know.
Well, I would say if I had to do it, I'd take Black Star out. I love you guys, but I'd take Black Star because I want to have two.
Okay, so Black Star's out.
I have to say
Biggie
Biggie
cut.
for sure.
Oh, here we go.
Biggie.
Easily. But
Public
Brooklyn,
Enemy, Salt and Pepper.
Roots.
Public
The Roots.
Enemy, Salt and Pepper, The Roots,
One more.
Biggie.
Biggie.
One more.
To not say who we go, yo.
Tribe.
Who we go, yo. So what's up,
Yeah.
Rosario? Here we go, yo. Rosario, because I was high school. But you know what? No, I'm going to say Jay. And the reason why I'm going to say Jay is I can't imagine.
You was in high school when Tribe Called Quest came out? I'm old.
Sorry. But I went to hear Rosario, like it was amazing. Like that's a sweet spot. That's my heart. But honestly, I have to say Jay because I remember going on a road trip with my friend, and we went from LA to Vegas and then back. And for 8 hours straight, all we listened to was Jay, because she's like a redonkulous Jay-Z fan. And like we're going over the lyrics, like analyzing it, like deep. And it was amazing. And you didn't feel like you were listening to just one artist. You didn't feel like it never got redundant and didn't get boring. It was super entertaining. And that was years ago. The amount of more music that you have to play with and listen to in the spaces and places that he goes, it makes me feel like he loves the same music that I do in general. And so I think I just have to put that in. Okay, cool.
Hey, Mac, let's go.
So Ben Cheese, been fun.
They all took your time up.
That's cool.
Give me a list.
LA to Vegas, that's a lot of watch rhymes.
Many bottles of champagne being popped.
Number 5, I'm going
I
to go.
kind of love your list, by the way.
Right?
Yeah.
It's
Not only do I love your list, but I love the way you chose your list. Because I'm not listening to you. Like, if I chose my list by songs or artists that affected me the most in my life, my list would be completely different.
Yeah.
Because we have those moments where artists kind of just, like, shift or whatever. So
That's like me doing Queen
I may
Latifah's
rethink.
show just recently. I was getting facts wrong about my own history in life because I was so excited to sit next to you and I'd see you. And the whole time, I've known her for so long, and it's like I try to be super cool around her. But I was like, yeah, I moved into the squat when I was 2. I moved in when I was 6. I've said this story my entire life. And I'm still saying it wrong because I'm like, it's the queen. Like, there's just, that's what I love about it.
yeah. Go, you.
go.
Let's do it.
You.
You.
Number 5, Rakim the God.
Yes.
For no other reason than, just like you said, there's hip-hop before Rakim, and then there's hip-hop after Rakim. And a lot of people that came after Rakim were directly influenced after Rakim. A lot of the great MCs that's on all of your lists, they're there because Rakim. Number 4 is Big Daddy Kane, because Big Daddy Kane was an entertainer. He can dance, he can rhyme like nobody's business. And when you were talking about who's better, thank you. You was talking about Rakim, and you was talking about Big Daddy Kane. So Big Daddy Kane and Big Daddy Kane brought Jay out. And remember, Jay didn't have the same flow that y'all love so much when he was with Big Daddy Kane. He was the jig of the J, the jig of the A, the jig of the Y when he was with that Big Daddy Kane. So Big Daddy Kane's on my list. No, I did not. Not at all. Number three is Biggie. Biggie is absolutely an MC's MC. He covered all bases of what a great MC is supposed to be. He had the personality, he had the flow, he had hits, and a lot of hits. Biggie is absolutely number 3. Number 2 is Jay-Z. Jay-Z is a great MC, but Jay-Z kind of mirrored Biggie to me. Biggie came out before Jay-Z, and Jay-Z did a lot of what Biggie was doing. Puff made Biggie calm down off the give me the loot, thug stuff and become a pimp and a player and a hustler, and the ladies love you. And then Jay-Z and Dame Dash built upon what Biggie had already laid down, and they slowed Jay-Z's flow down and made it more conversational, and they went into hustler mode because he was already successful with Biggie. All right, so my number 1 of all times is Nas, in my opinion. Nas is just the greatest MC. He's a poet, and Jay-Z and Biggie built off of what Nas did, but Nas built off of what Rakim did. Nas is absolutely, like you said, if Rakim wrote hieroglyphics, Nas put it in plain English. Nas was a street dude. Nas told us what was going on outside of the projects. Nas gave us an inner vision of what was going on in every hood in America across the country. Nas was the dude that had it in his pocket. Jay and Biggie was, I'm the boss and you work for me. So without Nas doing what Nas did, I don't think that Jay-Z and and Biggie would have been able to do what they did. And he spanked Jay-Z ass in that battle. Spanked him.
I knew we weren't going to get away with
Ethered
not
him.
bringing it up.
Ethered him.
I knew it was going to come up.
Yeah, that's why Jay is not up there. Battling is part of being a great MC.
You have to
Right?
have battles.
You got to have battles to be a top 5. You have to have some kind
I
of
wish we
battle.
could have seen Biggie do more
gotta
of
have
that.
battles in
'Cause
it.
Right?
Biggie, I wish we could have seen
And
Biggie
without
do
a
more of that.
rematch, a true rematch, that winner-loser stands.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So Nas did that, which knocked Jay down a notch for me, or would have been Jay, because of his impact on pop culture. I mean, Jay was like, I don't wear jerseys. I'm 30 plus. Put on a fresh pair of jeans, cats button up, and we all
Everybody
threw away.
changed their outfit.
We all threw away our
Yeah.
our throwback
$300
jerseys. So
jerseys.
Jay's impact is crazy.
He said,
but
no more
Nas,
Tims. Everybody threw away the
No
Tims,
more
and he brought back the
rims.
Tims.
But where it goes into the heart, into my heart of what I like to hear, which is lyricism,
Your
plus
top 5.
hits, my top 5. Nas sits on the top of my top 5.
Nice.
And
I gotta go. I kind of want to do my list over because I agree with her that some of the artists that I are most moved by aren't necessarily, a Lauryn Hill, let's say,
Right.
or
She's a top of my
Tribe,
female
or
top 5.
like, there's artists that move you. Even that I love that Black Star album. By the
Public
way.
Enemy moved me
I know
more than
that
anybody.
album like
And
by heart.
Tennessee. Like,
P.E.
there's certain,
moved
like,
me
yeah.
more than
Well,
anybody that's on my
Really,
list.
you put that anytime that comes on, I feel joyous.
Yeah,
I feel
agree.
joyous. I feel like I scored. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I caught that song. Like, and there's not people. I wouldn't necessarily put them in my top 5, but then when I look at it, like the one that makes me the happiest, if I had to take an album that I had to listen to over and over again, that would probably be more where I would go with. Like,
Yeah.
it's interesting
Me
how that
too.
works.
Me
I
too.
had Rebel Without a Pause on a 90-minute Maxell. Lyrics, instrumental, lyrics, instrumental, lyrics. And I walked around my box drinking 40s in Queens, and that's all we played was Rebel Without a Pause. I was Radio Raheem way before the movie. I swear to God, that's all we played. All day long.
I feel like you might still do that. Like on a
40 night, they changed the 40. Not charcoal filter no more. They stopped charcoal filtering old English. You know that?
I'll get my list quick. I think, to me, I'm just a Rakim fanatic fan. To this day, I get nervous when he walks in the room. Like, I've interviewed everybody. He comes in, I get nervous. I think he's the God MC. I think everybody's been influenced by him. And just personally, if he's on something, I want to hear it. I think he was one of the first rappers that made me feel like, wow, you could really say something and you're like to another level and you're, I don't know. I'm a Rakim fan. So Jay-Z is my second because he's Jay-Z and because has wow hits, Chris.
He's Ichiro.
He has many hits.
Ichiro.
And he's Derek Jeter and he's Michael Jordan.
And he got hits.
He's a winner. And then I have Big and Pac, and it's hard to put in which order. Both influence as much, I think. I would put Biggie first just because I'm from New York, and I had that album from a cassette, and I feel personally connected more to Big.
Right.
But Pac was super influential. I know many, many words to all his albums. And then Nas, who is, one of the greatest lyricists of all time. And should be on it. So it's a solid list, but
That's a nice list.
but I don't have Lauryn Hill on there, who makes me want to cry sometimes. And there's certain people, so there's so many. And then there's 6 men. We have 6 men. Sometimes you want to add somebody. And and by the way, in 2014, is your list really still that same list? Like my list in 2014, I want to hear a new Drake song. I want to hear a new J. Cole. I can't wait for J. Cole's album.
Yeah.
I want to hear
Kendrick.
Kendrick.
No
When he
You're
spit,
Kanye's?
I love him when he spit. When he start that crying shit, Drake, I can't take it.
Drake's
I thought
that's part of him.
he rhymes. Like,
Yeah, when he
he's
spit though, I'm saying when he
When
spit.
he spits, hey.
Yeah, he's nasty when he go just straight rhyming.
100 miles an hour, whatever that
Yeah,
is.
real quick.
Kendrick.
But when he started that,
Kendrick?
because you deserve
I'm not mad at Kendrick at
better.
all.
Kendrick.
Kendrick is incredible.
I mean, are we talking about 6-man? Because to me, I didn't really understand the sports metaphor of it. But I'm assuming it's somebody that the opposing team can't prepare that much for.
Mine is Kanye West.
It's
6
like
man's
a,
Kanye West.
it's like a secret weapon, right? So to me,
Angie.
What's wrong with Kanye?
6 Man is the mighty KRS-One. The man nobody did. Kanye West is sitting in the room, KRS-One will come in the room, and Kanye will not say that he rhymes. Every MC is afraid of KRS-One. Nobody had many different styles
Judging by.
than KRS-One
But if we're
did.
judging by hits,
I'm not saying, now I'm the
Yeah,
bad
yeah,
guy.
yeah,
I'm the bad guy. like I picked a rapping Duke or something.
Did you ever think about when you out of here? Chris had hits.
KRS-One is an amazing MC, but if we're battling hits from Kanye to KRS-One,
I'm still taking KRS-One. It makes me feel more than anything Kanye West has ever put out.
It's secret weapon,
Yes.
right? Your
Yes.
secret weapon.
yeah, okay.
KRS-One.
Who you got? Who you
So
got?
then, I'm gonna say somebody who has never fulfilled the potential that she has, but will at some point. Nicki Minaj.
Wow.
Skills,
Wow.
skills.
She's got skills.
She has them in the stash.
She got skills.
She has them in the stash.
She got skills.
And when she first started off, she was straight up dude.
Yeah.
She was a straight up dude when she
And
first started out.
not-
No one knew all that pretty girl was
When
underneath
Fendi had
any
her.
of that.
When
Yeah,
Fendi
she
was
was
doing
all
it.
like hard.
So you haven't even
dude.
seen what she could do.
You know, and that's
Interesting to see
because
what
people
she
don't even know
evolved
that she
into.
had that before, so they didn't even understand the transformation
Right.
and
I
where she
put
could
in
go
my
from next.
2014.
Because she's gonna have another transformation in there.
Chris, you got a
somewhere.
six
That was
man?
my six man.
That's a
My
good one.
six man, a guy that's on no one's list, but
That's a bad
You
start.
love them.
really, especially live, nobody could fuck with him. Snoop Doggy Dogg.
I was gonna say, yeah.
And he can freestyle.
He's
And
amazing.
Doggy Dogg.
You can't say live, nobody can fuck with him.
Yo,
Don't
have
say
you
that.
seen Snoop Doggy Dogg live?
He's great.
With the
but you can't say
band.
nobody.
That lets the braids out. Got the fans on both sides. The hair's
Got the
blowing.
Beyonce movement.
I saw him ride a bicycle on
Busta
stage and
Rhymes
people
might
lost
be
their
able to
minds.
Picnic with the
Hey,
roots back.
hey,
Wow.
yo, with the
The
roots
whole
picnic?
doggy style.
Yo.
He murdered it.
Murdered.
Murdered it.
And everybody too, young and old. It's like Beasley. It's crazy.
Yo.
Yeah, Snoop did.
Charisma, like some Jim Morrison shit.
Yeah,
You were probably high, by the way. Also,
Yes,
when you
yes,
were-
yes.
I smoked out with him in his dressing room before he went on stage.
All right,
That was
real quick.
lit.
Any debates, any vetoes, any last six men? Anybody that we forgot we just want to throw on the table before we
You
wrap?
threw
My
out
six
Lauren
man-
earlier, which I
oh.
appreciate, and I'm feeling also like Busta Rhymes a little bit. I know that sounds
Yeah.
crazy,
Busta
but I
Rhymes
just
is
love
great.
talking about
Busta
weird
Rhymes.
on stage
And in
and also talking about the
videos.
weird in the videos. And there's just something about him because he says, I've started as I've gotten older, like going back and looking at some of the lyrics that I was repeating without blindly, and I don't do that with any music. And he was saying some stuff that was like, wow, that was kind of homophobic, and that was kind of this, and that was kind of that, like, and that's crazy. I never
Well, you're still rocking
heard
it.
it, and I was actually like waiting by the radio to like
flow-wise.
record it because the flow is so
flow is
special
crazy,
and
yeah.
different and unique, and like
Versatile MC.
it's just kind of like if I'm not gonna go with Lauren,
And his
who I
videos.
love, because Lauren feels almost in that same like,
The
and the
old
girl
school
sounds like
dude.
Biggie. Like you're like she just gave us so little, but she's still here and it's
Yeah.
shot. I don't
These are the
understand it.
new-
Like
Her
I'm confused.
influence
I thought you
is-
were gonna maybe say her
Yeah,
when she
yeah.
dropped.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I was like, I just
where
went
she's
out. I thought she
going.
was
Oh,
going with it. Yeah, I thought that's where you're going.
Oh, Lauren's amazing, but Lauren's done.
Oh, just don't. You hurt my heart.
This
That's
is how you end this.
That's
You're going to end this.
I love her. I
Yo,
love
it's
her.
not Chris.
Well,
Chris
things are-
did.
Huh?
Yeah.
Pessimist. I got the hoe.
Oh,
He's a pessimist.
it's like you waiting for another Tyson fight. Certain things ain't happening again. I'd love to
But we
see
have
Tyson knock
seen
somebody
her
out.
potential.
Me too.
Oh, Lauren's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Lauren
We saw her great.
We
for
saw
one
her.
record
got-
might-
saw her amazing.
was the best
Yeah.
I ever
By the
heard.
way, there's a
And
few
also-
people on some of our
Spank
lists that we're never
Wyclef,
going to hear
too.
from again as
Yeah.
well. So don't act like she's
Yeah, she's not the only one we're not
Right.
gonna hear from again.
The only
Right.
one.
We
That's a
keep,
good-
Lauren's
that's a good
one of those.
six
We keep
That's
going.
crazy.
Right. Anything she's on, we like,
Okay, this is gonna be it.
Every performance, we wait 3 hours for her to show up.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
The movie's amazing, too, by the way. Have you guys
Thank
seen
you.
it?
My top 5 is Jay, Nas, Scarface, Rakim, and then I might let Biggie get in there. My 6th man is LL Cool J. Before the show! Before the show!
You're watching BlackTree on TV, only on Soul of the South.